Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Uncrewed, Florida to host 2022 MultiGP Drone Racing Championships. FCC proposes 5-year satellite disposal rule. And AeroVironment introduces all-electric Vapor 55 MX UAV. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to the Aero-News Network's Airborne-Uncrewed program, a weekly news program covering all things uncrewed, in partnership with AUVSI, the Association for Uncrewed Vehicle Systems International. Let's get into today's stories. Florida to host 2022 MultiGP Drone Racing Championships. The popularity of UAV racing was compellingly evinced by the 710 drone pilots who vied to enter the 2022 MultiGP Drone Racing Championship, a 6-day event to be held from October 18th through 23rd at the No Quarter Ranch Drone Field in Citrus Springs, Florida. The event's Sport Class Championship will take place October 18th and 19th, with the 20th held in reserve as a rain delay day. The Pro Class event will commence on October 20th and conclude in grand fashion on October 22nd, with the 23rd held in reserve as a rain day. To recognize tomorrow's champions and top-ranking qualifiers, the organizers of the 2022 MultiGP Drone Racing Championship will again employ the next format, by which both the sport and pro groups will have secondary championships for the next 40, resulting in non-stop action throughout the weekend, and 2 blade-to-blade top 16 double elimination brackets with Chase the Ace grand final races. Pilots ranked within the top 150 on the global list are eligible to attend the 2022 MultiGP Drone Racing Championship Pro Class weekend. The first 100 sport pilots, 151 to 250, will be invited to fill any Pro Class vacancies. Sport pilots 151 through 250 will also have exclusive access until Friday, September 9th to purchase their tickets. The final date on which event tickets may be purchased is Friday, October 14th, 2022. And after the break, Ampaire selects Caravan battery supplier.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.
Throughout the globe, Piper Aircraft has hand-selected the very best in company representation, service, and support. From first inquiry to acquisition to product support, Piper Aircraft ownership is seamless and worry-free. Piper Aircraft authorized dealers, factory trained, factory connected.
Aviation Safety Resources is disrupting the market for aircraft emergency parachute recovery systems. ASR systems are smaller, lighter weight, and offer longer repack cycles than similar products available in the current market. ASR has a recovery system available for every type of aircraft: sport, experimental, light sport, general aviation, urban air mobility, vertical takeoff and landing, electric propulsion, and unmanned aerial systems. Find the right product for your aircraft at aviationsafetyresources.com.
Welcome back. In the next Uncrewed Minute, let's take a look at some shorter stories making the rounds of the uncrewed vehicle communities. Ampaire selects Caravan battery supplier. Ampaire announced it had entered into an exclusive agreement by which Electric Power Systems will supply the propulsion battery pack for Ampaire's Caravan, a proprietary hybrid electric iteration of Cessna's 208B Grand Caravan. The 9-passenger Caravan, which has undergone ground power tests and is slated to fly before the end of 2022, is the first hybrid electric aircraft to enter into the FAA's formal certification process. Ampaire expects the agency to issue supplemental type certification for the Caravan in 2024. Dymond Aerospace inks deal for Rimdriven Hydrogen Motors. Duction Motors has signed an MOU with Dymond Aerospace that will supply 200 of their E-Jet motors for use in Dymond's uncrewed cargo aircraft. Duction will supply 20 E-Jet motors per year for a decade, eventually totaling 500 million Canadian dollars as deliveries continue through 2036. The Duction motor was chosen for its proprietary rim-driven design to allow for an improved power-to-weight ratio compared to traditional shaft-driven turbines. The E-Jet is expected to be capable of producing more than 8,000 pounds of thrust. GlobalX to acquire 50 Eviation electric aircraft. Aviation announced that Global Crossing Airlines, an American Part 121 domestic flag and supplemental charter airline headquartered in Miami and operating under the DBA GlobalX, had signed a letter of intent pertaining to the purchase of 50 Alice aircraft. The carrier intends to ply its Alices to the creation of new passenger routes in its key Florida, Bahamas, and Caribbean markets. NTSB and FAA codify commercial space mishap investigation. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy and FAA Acting Administrator Billy Nolan have signed an agreement clarifying the roles their agencies will play in the investigation of commercial space mishaps. The NTSB will be the lead investigative agency for commercial space launch or re-entry mishaps that result in a fatality or serious injury to any person, regardless of whether the person was on board the commercial space launch or re-entry vehicle, and damage to property not associated with the commercial space launch or re-entry activities or the launch site from debris that could reasonably be expected to cause death or serious injury. The FAA will be the lead investigative agency for all other commercial space mishaps. That was our Uncrewed Minute. Now back to the rest of the news. FCC proposes 5-year satellite disposal rule. The FCC aims to reduce the disposal window for decommissioned orbital equipment up to 5 years after end of service, down from the more leisurely 25-year timeframe currently in effect. The Federal Communications Commission released a fact sheet regarding the incipient issue of space debris above as the commercial space race heats up. Currently, after decades of governmental and commercial space exploitation, Earth has more than 4,800 satellites floating in orbit, both operational and decommissioned. The 5-year rule would require operators to put decommissioned satellites into uncontrolled re-entry as soon as practicable, with a maximum time frame of 5 years following their mission's end. The new regulations would apply to manned satellites too, meaning space stations ending their missions or passing through low Earth orbit below 2,000 kilometers. The requirement would apply to U.S. licensed and non-U.S. licensed systems seeking domestic market access under Part 25 of the FCC's rules. Additionally, the rule would impose a companion requirement for entities applying for Part 5 experimental licenses for satellites or those seeking to deploy amateur satellites under Part 97. The FCC has given a small amount of wiggle room, allowing a grandfathering period of 2 years for operators to get their upcoming deployments into compliance. And after the break, AeroVironment introduces all-electric Vapor 55 MX UAV.
Skyleader Aircraft offers a lineup of the most powerful, durable, and efficient light sport aircraft in the industry. From trainers to roomy cockpits for long hauls, Skyleader has an aircraft for you. And the best part? They're in your budget. Skyleader's base prices are set low to give you room to customize your aircraft to your needs, desires, and wallet, allowing you to put your money where it matters to you most. Visit flyskyleader.com today to learn about our aircraft, customization options, and chat with the team.
Whether you're charting a steady course or pushing for the ceiling, Hartzell Propeller has been elevating flight for over 100 years. It's in our passion for engineering and research. It's in our dedication to testing the limits of performance and creating propellers that are as safe as they are sexy. Now, together with our dedicated family of companies, we're propelling the future of aviation. We are Hartzell Propeller, built on honor.
Welcome back. AeroVironment introduces all-electric Vapor 55 MX UAV. AeroVironment has announced the launch of its next-generation Vapor UAV, the Vapor 55 MX, a helicopter-style machine optimized for defense, commercial, and industrial missions. As drones go, the Vapor 55 MX measures 6 feet by 2.2 feet by 2.1 feet, massing a stout 65-pound maximum military gross takeoff weight and offering users a usable payload of up to 22 pounds. The Vapor 55 MX's heft begets a leisurely 28-knot maximum ground speed. What the contraption lacks in all-out speed, however, it atones for in a maximum peak wind operational speed of 40 knots, a service ceiling of 12,000 feet MSL, and a 75-minute endurance period. Operating at the FAA's 55-pound maximum gross takeoff weight restriction for commercial UAVs, the Vapor 55MX is capable of carrying a 12-pound payload for up to 70 minutes. The Vapor 55MX's all-electric, all-weather conventional main rotor, anti-torque rotor core architecture features easy vehicle assembly and disassembly, a telescoping tail and landing gear, and simplified in-field maintenance. Payload flexibility is facilitated by a tool-free rail system for integration of third-party or custom payloads. The Vapor 55MX can be flown automatically or manually by means of a live GPS, full-authority modular ground control unit, which is compatible with low-cost encrypted radio, but can be swapped out for a hardened military transmit-receive package. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching!